All right, we are
Hey,
live.
guys.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Mr. Sergio from University Terrace.
And I'm Miss Danielle. I'm also from University Terrace.
We're so glad to have you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, if you are at one of our sites or any Boys and Girls Club site, comment down below, let us know which site you're at. And if you're not from this city or state, let us know what city or state you're from. Just comment down below and we'll give you guys a shout out.
Okay, so we're going to start out with the same kind of advice that we always start out with. We're going to remind you guys that it's really important to wash your hands. So wash outside, inside, in between the fingers, under the fingernails for 20 seconds, or you can sing happy birthday twice while doing that.
Another thing that we're definitely wanting to do is practice social distancing. So we want to try to keep at least 6 feet apart from someone. And if you see your friend, don't high five them or don't shake their hand. Just give them an elbow bump.
The other thing, if you can't wash your hands immediately, you're not somewhere where you have access to it, hand sanitizer is a great alternative to go ahead and do that. The biggest thing right now is to make sure that you guys are not touching your face. So keep away from your eyes, your nose, and your mouth because germs can get in there. Anything else, Mr. Sergio?
I think that, so there is something else. So you want to make sure to tell your parents if you are sick. So if you're not feeling well at all, just let them know. And don't think the worst. It might just be allergies or the flu season because that is coming around. So also you want to make sure not to touch your face because that's the easiest way that germs can get into your body. So you shouldn't touch your face. And if you do, wash your hands frequently and wash your face as well.
If you have to sneeze or cough, make sure that you do it away from somebody or into your elbow, something like that. But make sure that you're disinfecting that area after you go ahead and cough or sneeze there.
So we have a few people who have commented so far. So shout out to Ms. Jan, shout out to Ms. D, Ms. Pat, shout out to Charles, and shout out to Jeremiah.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in.
So I think we can get started with our activity today.
Yeah, awesome. Would you like to do Harambe real quick?
Sure.
We haven't done that in a little bit. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with Harambe, you can totally do it along with us. So we're going to do Harambe real quick. So it's Monday and Harambe. BGC is in the house. Say what? It's Monday and Harambe. BGC is in the house. Say what? And then we're going to do a quick little round of boom chicka boom. So I said a boom chicka boom.
I said a boom chicka boom.
I said a boom boom chicka boom.
I said a boom boom chicka boom.
I said a boom chicka rocka chicka boom.
I said a boom a chicka rocka chicka boom.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see you do it.
Let me see you do it.
Nobody's way.
Nobody's way.
Alright, so we do have a few more comments. Shout out to Tasia. Shout out to Devin. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Just the reminders for club members to let us know that they're in.
Alright, so today we have a pretty simple activity. The only real supplies that you may actually need are paper, and you can also use markers or crayons, anything like that to decorate what we're going to make. You can use all sorts of paper. So here we have some regular paper, we have some cardstock, and another optional supply is tape. If you have tape or glue, that works well. So today, Miss Danielle, would you like to tell everyone what we're going to be doing?
Yeah, so today we're going to be making different paper airplanes, and we're going to see the differences that are caused by the different folds. We're going to talk about a couple ideas about what really makes the plane fly, and then we'll kind of make our hypothesis or our guess on which plane we think will kind of fly the best. So that's why we have our markers here. Is we're going to go ahead and do a hypothesis on which plane we think is going to fly the best. Now the concept that we're going to focus around is something called drag or air resistance. So a good example is when you're putting your hand out the window of a car, right, and you feel the air moving against it, and it's kind of pushing it back. The same type of thing is helping the plane stay up and move forward. So drag is the main thing that we're going to be focusing on today. There's a couple of different ideas of the weight of the paper airplane making a difference, so that's why we have the cardstock and the regular paper, and we also have the lift that the wings are going to give the plane to kind of keep it up. So there's a lot of different things that play here, so if you want to kind of make a guess on which airplane, we can look at the different airplanes.
And on this activity falls under STEM, so I think it would fall under engineering, right?
Yes.
Because we're definitely working on that aspect. So so as always, when we do a STEM activity, we want to try to make a hypothesis, and we want to write everything down. So at the top, we're going to write our name and the experiment that we're doing. Do you think Airplane Magic would be a cool title? I think that's a cool caption.
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to be calling this activity Airplane Magic. We're going to be going over all the science behind all that.
Okay, so I have my name, the title of the activity right here.
Alright, there we go. I have mine as well. So I think we're going to split it into 3 parts. So we're going to make a line right here going down and then one across. Down here we're going to write what we think is going to happen. Here we're going to write what actually happens in the end. And then here we're going to draw a picture of what we think should happen.
Okay, so the first kind of design that we have is the basic paper airplane. It's sometimes referred to as a dart. You can see it's pointy, has its little wings. It's a little bit different. The second one we're going to call the bullnose, and if you look, the tops are a little bit different in the folds of the wings, and the biggest thing is going to be that different tip. It's kind of flat, and it's a little bit heavier, it seems, at the tip. So, like I said, weight was something that affects the flight of the plane. So, putting our guess here. And then I think we're going to do a wild card, just kind of see a random plane design that we can think of and see how that goes against these two.
Alright, awesome. So basically some of the science behind it is that your hand's able to move more easily through the air at certain angles. So it actually does also depend on how you throw it, how you basically flick your wrist. So the aerodynamics of a paper plane will determine the distance and ease at which it flies. The aerodynamics of the plane will need to have a little drag, as Nathaniel said. It needs to be light enough to defy gravity, and they use forces of lift and thrust. So that's a little bit of the science behind that.
And then what's cool is that the same forces that are working on these paper airplanes are the same that apply to a big, huge, real airplane. So we kind of mentioned force earlier, and that's something that pushes or pulls on an object. So when we throw the paper airplane, we're giving it a push, and that's the thrust that we were talking about earlier. And the plane is flying forward, and the wings are providing that uplifted force. So like I said, that was what was giving it that ability to fly. So if you want to start, maybe we can do our dart.
Okay, so we will start with the dart. Do you want to show them how to do the dart, and I'll do the regular one?
Well, the dart is.
Oh, it is the right?
Yeah, so this one's just
okay,
either way.
gotcha.
Depends.
Okay,
I can
yeah.
do the bullnose one.
Okay, so I'll do the dart, which is the regular one, and then Nathaniel will do the bullnose. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start by folding our paper in half, hot dog style. And we want to make sure that we use our nail or fingertip to press down everything. Then the next step is you're going to open up your paper, and you're going to fold each corner into the paper. So this corner will go right here, this one will go right here.
I'll follow along with you.
All right. All right. So once it looks kind of like the house, what we're going to do is we're going to take this side and we're going to fold it as to where this part goes here, but it doesn't overlap this part. So we'll take it and fold it here, as you can see. So it should look something like this. As you can see, we're forming the wing right here. And next we'll do the same thing with this part. So again, we're taking this part right here and folding it over here. And it should look a little bit kind of like a teepee for now. So we went from like a house shape to a teepee shape.
Okay, so for here, then we're gonna fold it back. So the solid side, you see how there's a solid side and then the ones with the folds? We're gonna go ahead and put the two solid sides together, and then we're gonna fold it and find that point. Okay, so there's two different ways to kind of do a traditional dart. You see this one, the point goes all the way down, or we have it kind of stopping back here. So which one would you prefer to do?
I would like to try this one.
This one, okay.
So let's go for that one.
So then, we could just bring this down.
Alright, so we're folding this part here down. So you just need to make sure that it aligns with the bottom part of the paper.
Okay, so now that they're pressed down, it should kind of look something like this. And to make your wings pop out, you can just fold these right back up. So then it's this way. And you could fly your plane like this, but to give it kind of a little bit more strength and stability, that's where the tape comes in.
So again, this has a lot to do with the weight of the paper and the supplies that you're using. So if you're using cardstock, it would definitely be way heavier, so it probably wouldn't go as far. But you also want to try to use not that much tape or glue if you're using that. So I'm just going to take a tiny little piece and glue it towards the center. I think how far it would go would also depend on where you might put the tape. Maybe
Yeah.
the airflow in there.
So I'm gonna put 2 pieces of tape. So maybe if you stick with the one and I do the 2, that's another difference that we can do. So I'm gonna take, see how it's open back here? I'm gonna tape the tail together. So I'm just gonna put a tiny little piece here.
Oh, smart.
And then you see where this opens up, I'm gonna tape these 2 together. So hopefully it'll all stick together really well.
Yeah, we hope you guys stick around because we are going to, we have some little lines set up to see how far the airplanes can go. So we're going to do an experiment with that. And then we're also probably going to go outside and see how that works with the wind, see what differences we have.
Okay, so when it comes to the bullnose, you have your sheet of paper. Then the first fold that you're going to make, it's going to be a little bit confusing, but you're going to get it and you're going to make your corner of your paper fold over to the side, but you want these bottom two to still make a point. So you want the top edge of your paper to fold over to the opposite side, and then you want these 2 little corners, yes, to go ahead and line up. So once you do it to one side, you're going to open it back up and do the same exact thing to the other side. So bring the corner over to the long side of the paper, have 2 corners meet. Yeah, so we're going to do that.
Does this look good? Even though the corners are moving?
You want to try and just keep fixing this. So the more you slide it up and down, so see if you see right here, then these 2 corners aren't aligned, but the more you slide it down this edge, the better you can find that corner. So
Okay,
that's a little
awesome.
trick.
Alright, so we definitely want to make sure that it's folded this way and that we have that corner there.
Okay. So once you have that there, you'll kind of see a little triangle in the paper from the folds. So then you're going to bring that corner in to that fold line and fold it there. So this half of the paper you're going to bring into the first fold, so the fold closest to it.
So we're folding this part into this line, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So corner into that little fold that you see.
Alright, so here we have our two folds, makes a triangle, and we're going to take this part and fold it into here.
And you're going to do that on both sides.
This part.
Yes, and then you're going to just do it again on the other side, so now we kind of have this shape, almost like a cone.
I think it kind of looks a little bit like a volcano.
Yeah, that would be better because it's just a cone but missing the top, I guess. Okay, so from there, you're going to go ahead and fold this side in again to where that fold in the paper was. So you're just going to fold it onto itself. So you can see it was open here, and this was the edge of the paper, and that was also where the fold was before, and then we just folded it over one more time on itself, and you're going to do that on both sides. So this is the back side where you can't really see any of the folds, but now you can see if we were to open this back up again, everything is just folding in on itself. So once we're there, it looks like we can fold top edges. So we're going to fold it in. So all the folds you have are now you're going to fold them in on themselves.
So we're just folding it in half basically?
Yes.
Okay.
With all the folds on the inside. And then from there, once you're here, you're going to fold your wings back out. So take the corners and fold them down.
I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, so I'm just going to wait and see how yours turns out.
I think what I did was, yeah, like this, and like this.
Okay, how did you do that?
Okay, so once you had it folded in, then you're just going to fold these flaps back out. So it was like this before, it was all solid, and then you open these back up and folded them down. So now these are the wings. And I'm going to take 2 pieces of tape like I did last time. I'm going to tape it right back here on the tail and up here towards the nose. And like you see, the nose is a little bit different, and it's not quite as pointy as the first one. It's kind of flat. And if you feel, it's more bulky up front rather than the dart.
I use cardstock for this one, so I don't think I'm going to need any tape. I think everything should on the same place. And I like how there's this little gap right here. I feel like that will really help the airflow, even though the paper is much thicker than the first one that I used. I also really like the wing shape, so there's a lot going on right here. So I feel like that'll really help with helping it keep flying and staying up in the air.
Okay, so now that we have our 2 established ones, now we can maybe just do a freestyle and get creative. I'm not sure what I want to do. So I'm going to start by folding mine in half like the rest of them.
I think I'm going to fold mine a different way, just to see how that works out.
So when I was in school, when we were folding it long ways, we called it hot dog style, and then when we folded it over the shorter way like you did, we called it hamburger style. So mine's hot dog, yours hamburger.
Yes. So I folded mine halfway, and then I open it up and I'm folding it this way. So we have kind of a more rectangular shaped house. And then I'm going to fold these wings back. I'm going to fold them all the way back so the wings are really long and just leave a little bit of paper in the middle.
I'm not sure what I'm doing, but
So mine has really flappy wings, and I'm going to use a little bit of tape just to hold it all together. I like Miss Danielle's idea of putting the tape in the back, so I'm definitely going to do that.
okay, so what I've done so far is I folded it in half, long ways. Then I brought these two little flaps in. I folded it down. Brought these two sides in. I'm gonna fold it in half one more time. At this point, I got confused with my own steps because I'm just going with whatever.
That looks good. I
And
feel like it kind of looks like a little smaller version of mine,
And I'm
except the
gonna-
wings are different for sure.
fold my little wings up at
Okay,
the end.
that's awesome.
Okay, let me borrow the tape really quickly.
So if anyone wants to comment below and let us know which one you think will work best. So we do have the original one. We have the
Bullnose.
the bullnose plane. So you can comment down below. You can comment original bullnose or the creative option. I personally feel like it really depends on the paper that you use, but we'll see. I also think that probably the original one's gonna work best, but that's just my theory, so we're gonna find that out and see what we get as a result.
Yeah, so earlier before we started folding, Mr. Sergio gave us a really nice layout of the title and our name, our guests, maybe a picture of once we start throwing the planes what we see, and then we're going to write our results down here. So for my guess, I went ahead and guessed the bullnose, just like I said, because the tip of it, there's a lot more paper up there and it feels really bulky and heavier, so I just assumed that the weight might carry it a little bit further. But if we're good now and you have your guess, we can go ahead and maybe start testing our planes out.
Yeah, sounds good. So I think we're gonna start with the original one, and then we're gonna proceed to the bullnose, and then we're gonna do our last one that we freestyle.
And I'm gonna take my paper and my marker with me so I can draw what I see going on. I thought we were throwing it this way so they can see how far.
Okay.
Okay, so if you guys are able to see on the floor, we have our different little hash marks. So how we measured it is just 2 feet in between, and then there's a hash mark, 2 feet, and so on and so forth. So Mr. Sergio has a yellow plane, and I have an orange plane. So we're gonna go ahead and throw them at the same time, but they're both the same style of plane. So like we said, it's our dart with the pointy tip.
And we're both gonna be around the same on each other's side, so basically it should be about the same.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So mine flew into Mr. Lisa's office, but it did have pretty good airflow. It just didn't go straight. Danielle definitely won this round.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6.5 out. So we're right here. I'm gonna leave my plane right there. I'll move it into frame so you guys can see about how far it went.
Mine was about right here.
So the next plane is gonna be the bullnose. So we'll remind you how the tip is just a little bit different on this one.
And another difference is that Miss Danielle used regular paper and I used cardstock, so we're going to see how that makes a difference.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So those are both pretty good. Even for the cardstock, I feel like that went pretty far.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so mine went about 9 and Mr. Sergio's went about 10.
I would say it's about. I would say it's a tie.
Okay.
I think it's slid a little bit on the floor. I'm not sure if that counts.
Okay, so if we want to show everybody, we have pretty similar styles, even though we were both kind of doing our own little thing.
Yeah, my wings have some extra paper up here, but hers seem to be flat, and then they have.
Mine have quite a few, folds in there. I don't know if that's gonna help with like the weight, and then my difference is that my wings are kind of folded up at the end. So, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so my design wasn't very good. It didn't really go that far at all. So definitely, I think the wings could have been changed differently and made a better impact if they were like Miss Danielle. So I think her flaps that she folded in the end were pretty helpful.
Mine went out about 8 little hash marks. I couldn't tell you really what the difference was, but yeah, I think honestly just the different folds in the center helped with the weight and it to carry a lot further, and maybe the wings kind of creating that drag maybe had some effect on helping it go a little bit further.
Yeah, so please let us know in the comments if you did this and how it worked out for you, because we're very interested in knowing how you did it and what kind of techniques you have. So if you'd like to, please post pictures on our Facebook so that we can share those. We always like to see people actually engaging and doing the activities that we're doing. So shout out to those of you that do that. Did you want? So I think we're gonna go outside and we're gonna find a good spot to throw these and see if being outside and wind and everything impacts how they fly. So we're taking a little field trip.
Behind the big blue door. Okay. So we're just gonna throw them this way. It's a little bit windy, nothing too crazy, but we have a nice open area to throw. I guess we'll do the same order of the plane. So we'll start with the dart. We're trying to figure out which way the wind is blowing, so hopefully we'll get the best result.
Yeah, the wind just picked up a little bit, but we're hoping it'll help us actually.
Against us.
Maybe right over there. Alright, so we're going to relocate so that the wind is in our favor.
Okay, so let's start with our dart. We'll go in the same exact order like I said before. So, okay. We're good. Can you see both of us? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now we're going to go in with bullnose. To remind you, that's the flat one. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Alright. Last is our freestyle plane. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
So which one was the first?
So I think I definitely had the best result with the bullnose. The only thing is I did throw it a little low, so it did kind of go straight to the floor. I definitely should have been higher. But overall, I think I was wrong. The original isn't the best one. I think the bullnose is definitely the best one so far.
Yeah, so I had the same results with the bullnose being the one that flew the furthest, and then the dart, and then the freestyle. So I think on both of us, our freestyle was the worst, but the bullnose, it seemed like, had the best aerodynamics in regards to all the planes.
Yeah, so shout out to anyone who guessed bullnose. You guys were right. So thank you guys so much for participating. We just have a little portion left, and we'll be wrapping up. So we're just going to pick this up real quick and go back inside to talk to you about one last thing.
I'm also gonna finish filling out our little paper since we got a little distracted when we were throwing all of our planes.
Alright, so it looks like we both have the same result. We both basically noticed that the bonus was the best one that worked. So we highly recommend that technique, even though it's a little bit more difficult and a lot more steps, definitely seems to work the best. So just one last thing that we want to tell you guys today. So we have been running Goose Chase for a little bit now. If you're not familiar, it's an application that you can download on your phone. It's available in the Google Play Store, also on the Apple App Store. So all you do is type in Goose Chase, and I'll show you real quick what it looks like. So it's this icon right here, and you just go in there. And I've already signed up, but usually when you sign up, it'll ask you for a code. So Miss Danielle is actually going to share that code with you right now.
Okay, so here's the Goose Chase code. It's KK8PIK. So there it is. I'll repeat it one more time. Okay, hold on. We're double checking to make sure that's an I. It might be a 1, but it's also on our Facebook page. So just 1 second, I'll confirm. Okay, so it's actually KK8P1K. So that's a 1, y'all. My bad. And it's super fun. So as you can see, there's a lot of really fun activities to do here. So like there's one that says cheese. The leading theory as to why or say cheese is that, so basically tells you a little bit of background on cheese. And then the challenge itself is take a picture with someone, with their permission of someone saying cheese. So I would just go here, and we're gonna record a little video of Miss Danielle saying cheese. Cheese.
All right. Sorry, I wasn't recording.
Oh.
So,
Cheese.
so we have that done. You submit the evidence, and that's it. This game is over, so the code is for the new game, so we couldn't submit it. But with the new updated version, you will be able to do that. And then the last thing that we wanted to announce was that there are 3 winners from our past Goose Chase contest that we had. So they will be announced on Facebook this week, so please stay tuned. That is all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, we were happy to show you guys how to do this. We're glad that you guys are engaging, so thank you so much. We appreciate you. Again, let us know who's watching. We'll shout you out. But yeah, so
we'll see you again later this week. Bye, guys.